Okay, so let's go over today's trade recap. The one trade I ended up taking, which was a win and was a short on RTY. So let's go over the daily time frame. So yesterday, I didn't take any trades because we were trading away from fair swings on every single asset, which most of them did get hit today, by the way. So like these equal lows here on NQ, these equal lows on ES, right? These right here, that. And the reason I didn't believe that this was like potentially you could say an SMT here, but it's like too close proximity to where I want to see a sweep of this low. I mean this low here. I don't see SMT being created in the close vicinity of this low. Not this low, like this low into the range, very close to this other low. That's why I thought this SMT was like very likely to fail. That's why I was bearish today. But actually, AM session, we still hadn't hit this low, I'm pretty sure. Or CC. Pretty sure. Never mind. So we already did impact the low on NQ. But we still didn't hit these lows right here. So I was bearish. I was willing to trade NQ. And yes, it's like there's really no draw liquidity here below this low. So I was not bearish, right? We already hit this low pre-market open. So I'm not bearish at all. You could probably say, okay, this is like where you can dissipate a reversal candle to be put. It's possible you can trade towards this range, like this candle is a pretty large range. I would say they long, so up until like EQ of this current candle are like very like they make sense. They make sense, by the way. Like that's what I mean. But of course I took short before that, so I was not looking for that. But that's potentially what I would have looked into. I didn't get short opportunities if you just reversed. So I was still willing to short NQ towards like these consolidation low, the original consolidation low. Right, it's just being this. I kind of knew, like I was expecting yes not to hit this low. Like these are just way too spaced off for that to happen. But these are close, so I don't know if you can trust this. I don't know if we can go higher from here, but either way. So that's for tomorrow to decipher. So this is also YM. So YM impacted this low, and it still had like relatively equal lows with this daily low here. So a lot of swings here. And so yeah, I was not willing to short YM, even though it might have been close to these lows. I just was getting very overextended. We're already taking like a bunch of like low resistance liquidity here, like quite a lot. Like without this low, we really took literally took out within 2 days like 70% of this low resistance liquidity. Okay, so we can expect a retracement or a reversal as like it's definitely possible. And RTY again, same thing I was explaining beforehand. Like this is way too close to this low for me to consider this SMT valid. So I was looking for shorts towards this SMT break. Well, this also traded lower. Right? So that's the logic behind my trades here. We have right here, we have New York PM session from yesterday, putting a swing point, taking out these equal highs on NQ. And then we trade away during Asia and London as well. So there's two things you can do here. You can trade, as I said, like AM session back into the range, or you can trade this asset to like for this asset to break the SMT before we go higher. I'll say both are like pretty valid since as you can see, like YM just failed to manipulate this low. You can see 4-hour close below this low, right? It calls for like lower prices. We're probably not gonna reverse off of this low. So I'm assuming we're gonna offer this daily low next. All right, very simple. And then we see off of this low, if we're gonna reverse, which we do, right? We actually failed to manipulate this. So it's kind of weird with leaving these, but we gotta respect it. Anyways, so I was willing to trade this, though, even though we don't have like a 4-hour C2 candle, it's like the close proximity to these lows is the reason I was willing to short this trade, like the short here, right? If we go to 90-minute, we also get a 90-minute with SSMT, right? So there's no SMT fill. Unfortunately, this would have been even high probability if there was like SMT fill. If, for example, YM2 like did fill this gap, this would have been higher probability, I would say. But I was still willing to trade this, even though we were very close to the range. Like, because like once we had SMT like this with this place away, now we have a swing point, right? And like we're so close. Look at this. This is the low today, by the way. So, see, where's the yeah, this is 6M open. As you can see, 6M opens, and it just opens high first, right? Without taking anything, leaving even more previous swings here, right? This previous day's low. Oh, by the way, I gotta change this. Hold on. A person use that. Use this so. Right. Do I not have it here? I don't have it. Right. So a person use this to like just separate the days. We can also put in this. I already have it. RNS. That's for the executions one now. But alright, so did previous 6 a.m. candle like creates a fair swings and trades high first? So I am assuming that we're probably gonna like we're likely retracing here away from fair swings, and I need, I would say, a 90-minute or 4-hour swing to trade away from. So the 4-hour swing is out of question. Like if I get 90-minute with the 2-stage crack, I will trade that. Otherwise, I'm gonna wait for the market open. Like if there wasn't a 2-stage crack, these are just like we're just generally low risk and liquidity here, relatively equalized to take out before going lower, in my opinion, right? If you generate liquidity, we just like be taking this high and then perhaps gas MT fill or stuff like that. But when it's a 2-stage crack on the 30-minute, it's like, yeah, it's like pretty much sealed. I don't know. It's like, so we get SMT plus PSP here, and every also reverses off of this. By the way, we get discontinuation some SMT fill as well. Just switch to the being with the weaker asset, and that's probably because these asset at open. Let's go over 50-minute. So at open here, these assets trade higher first, right? Putting in this SMT on YM, by the way. So like YM not only was like the lagging asset within this dyad, but it was also like the eventually the leading asset within the triad, right? It's like this. Well, I was more so focused on these two. I didn't want to trade NQ yet because of like I said, potentially NQ. NQ is potentially tradable, but I don't see it being the lagging asset at open, or at that point, like it's just lower probability it's gonna get to these lows. I wanted to see strength switch, right? If anything, I want to see NQ to be the weakest asset to trade towards these lows, right? He's definitely lagging. So when I see the driver expand towards these lows, no, away from these, right? So, I mean, using that same logic, that's why I traded RTY. And ideally here, I'll be completely honest, ideally you trade like this swing point here. We'll go back and literally see this. See. So ideally you trade like 5-minute CSD, 3-minute CSD, whichever you get first. And I think it's the 3-minute you get here. So this is the 50-minute. So if you wait for the PSP to form, you wait for this. So I'll probably wait for like this CSD to happen. What should we do? Yeah, should we do close below? I'll trade like this. I'll probably have like my stop loss there. And so this is the ideal trade here, which actually gives you like insane RR. But so it's like right here, right after we form the what is it called? Right after we form the SMT plus PSP 2-stage crack, we get the continuation CSD here, right? As you can see, I mean honestly, wait, this is swing. It's a swing point. So if you're trusting in this OB, yeah, you'll be trading this. Like you should have your stop loss here, by the way. I guess you can have it at the invalidation high. Do not play it, but yeah, like it's totally fine to have it here. In this case, it almost stops you out, but then expands lower. And here, so again, ideally that's the best, like that's the best trade entry here. What you can do next is, in my opinion, which is what I trade, especially pre-driver, I really don't care as much because like you're not gonna get like an insane range. So I trade even 50-minute CSDs here. My question is, can I get to our marginal liquidity? And remember, this is the daily daily swing low, and this is pre-stage low. So my question is, can I get like I'm using like this stop loss? I could probably use this high as well. This is the 8 a.m. high. Pretty close proximity. I could have used both. I think it would have been like nonetheless. Actually, if I use this high, I could have gone to our with pre-stage low. Like a way better fill. But what I did is like I used this high. I got tapped in, yeah, like around here. It's very similar to the point. I think it's totally fine. I used the bodies, right? I used the bodies with this 50-minute OB. So I got filled here on this 50-minute CSD. And again, so you can wait for like 50-minute gap and SMT fill within the gap. I kind of like, I don't like doing that prior to the driver just because like, sometimes these gaps will just left being like they just get left open, right? You don't always get like SMT fill and stuff like this, right? For example, here since I wanted to trade RTY, I don't need like to see this gap being filled. Like as you can see, like I'm not waiting for a gap to place my limit order, right? I mean, honestly, I would short a market here if it gave me 2R with this low. Now, why did I not hold for this? It's because the market's been ranging for quite a lot. So I just want to preach this low here. I know that low today was probably going to be a fair swing of this, but then the daily low, previous day's low, I don't know. I actually don't know. We could get a deeper retracement, in my opinion, off of previous day's low, especially knowing how low we are into the range. And yeah, you just want to go for the low hanging fruit. In my opinion, here it was previous day's low. You can definitely do this, by the way. If you expand past this, right? For example, here, right? Like literally would hit like your TP like right away if you held all the way down here. Not one thing you should have done that. I personally didn't do it. I just need 2R, and that's it. Like so I'll go fill. Yeah, I think in this. So I'll go fill here, and I actually went break even once we impacted this low here. This like I go break even around like yeah, it's like around 1R. It doesn't have to be like mechanically like it has to move past 1R. I just want to see on OB that's what Brooks price. So which actually happens pretty quickly. There's also 50-minute CSD, but you get this 5-minute continuation. So I don't want to see this high being revisited pretty much. And my entry is pretty much there, right? So as you can see here, once we impact this low, we expand away from this OB, I'm like, okay, this OB should hold. I don't want to see this. If we're gonna stop me out or break even, we're probably gonna fill this gap, and then I'm more than willing to trade the continuation off of that 50-minute gap. But I don't know, like as of now, I don't know if for certain if it's gonna hold since we impact this low, right? Ideally, we don't reverse here, but it's possible. Like this previous candle hourly, like this the previous candle slow on the hour time frame. So yeah, of course, like I was very confident in this trading in the TP just because like look at like OM trades away from this is a 5-minute time frame, yeah, or OM trades away from equal lows, so we know this is not a true reversal. It just like cannot really happen there. So I don't know, man. I got kind of, I mean, not emotional. I was kind of pissed if this like I would have been pissed if this reversed off of the low of the day. So this is the low of the day. Just because I know it's just, like these are all fair swings, so like it's just like there's no need to reverse there. We had a pretty deep retracement, so this actually worked here. It took is trade, right? Like off of like the retest of this, I believe, or perhaps the gap. I mean, something like this, something like here. He took something like this, yeah. And I mean, yeah. We also got this, by the way. So I think I stopped out break even. I was actually pretty close. This was actually pretty close, yeah. I think I stopped out break even because we expanded with the driver. So I mean, yeah, I mean, once we get this CSD here on the 3-minute, the Garrett that the one that Garrett took. What am I even saying, bro? Once we get this one, I'm very confident we're probably gonna hit low of the day. Once we hit the low of the day, I'm like, okay, I don't know. At the lowest point of the day, since this asset is kind of chopping around here, I don't know. This was like it's definitely sluggish expansion higher. I was hoping, if I'm being honest, I was hoping this would be a CSD here because we already had like SMT fill. I think it's like this. I literally got lost. Yeah, like it was like that. So I was hoping like this was gonna be a swing point and this would CSD lower, but no, we were going to re-hit this high. I don't know. It's pretty weird. I don't know why it took so long. And so yeah, like so yeah, we re-hit this high. Again, not a stage SMT here actually, but on the lower time frame, I expand lower. And yeah, this hits my John liquidity. So yeah, the only thing is I didn't manage it all that well. Through point, I'll be completely honest, like I'm very confident. I went break even here, and mechanically that's fine because it's like pretty much 1R. If I use like this stop loss, it's like 1R. So I mean it's pretty much like the same validation point. So it's like okay, like I can definitely I did move my stop loss here at this point. So I originally had it here, but I moved it here. Like okay, it's like 1R. Right, we have a CSD here. But what I should have done realistically is just wait for market open. Once we get this CSD here, I can definitely go break even. Like at this point, we're sure like we have SMT fill like protecting my stop loss. Um, so yeah, I didn't manage it properly. But yeah. So I mean, yeah, I mean that was my trade. That was the trade idea, and yeah, I mean it played out. Even this definitely like I was so like I don't know. It was like I was very confident. At the same time, we are gonna hit low of the day, but once we started retracing this deep, I was like, damn, this could actually just we might actually just want to manipulate this high. I was like, you know, because like NQs wasn't really reversing here in this period of time. So like even though I'm looking at this diet here, I still care about. I mean, I still am mindful of NQ, yes. Because if not reversing, right, YM is also not likely to expand, which is fine. If YM consolidated here, RTY is probably gonna hit the low anyway, right? But if YM is gonna expand higher, then this is gonna have a very hard time expanding lower, right? So it's like very obvious. So I mean, I'm not saying you wanna wait for like, for example, for NQ to CSD lower to trade like YM, to trade RTY, but I'll wait for this to happen to trade this, which it does happen at the same time actually, I'm pretty sure. 939. Yeah, it happens like within the next scan, like this is perfect. It does happen on ES, I'm pretty sure. There's this 939. It's pretty deep retracement here. Yeah. Whatever. So that is my analysis. And that's why I believe the trade played out. Now, again, I'm not saying that. I mean, what am I saying? Like, yeah, just like you just played out. Probably played out my favorite today, and whatever made money. Like, it's just like good, like very good, like narrative reading. I would say. And yeah, I mean, I didn't manage it all that well. I could have definitely managed it a little bit better. To where I just didn't go breaking. I was very confident. Like I mean, actually no. Like if I was a little bit more confident than today, I would have definitely just held this like a break even. I've done it before, but I don't even go break even here. It's like I'm so just like I'm full confidence. I'm like, okay, bro, like this literally just has to hit, right? I don't know, draw liquidity, like there's a two-stage crack. Yeah, I'm trading pretty much the continuation, but it's literally fine. And so yeah, ideally, something I want to say is like ideally you trade like the first CSD or the continuation CSD here. This is like kind of low into range too. I wouldn't short like this CSD here. I mean, whatever. It's like it's just pretty choppy, I would say. So I wouldn't short this low because we have 50-minute gap here. You don't know if the chart is gonna do that. But shorting at 50 minutes, like probably like yeah, it's totally fine. I don't care about again having a larger stop loss. I really don't care about that. Um, and you can tell this is just like retracement here. It's like no gaps here. Well, this is a 30-minute, I believe, but where it kind of like give like a little bit of a push. This 30-minute held, but yeah, it just like it was kind of filled with that like kind of like it's very likely to fail. And what are these like the executions here? Well, actually, yeah, this is the drawn liquidity. Wait, I close it here? Oh yeah. So this is the daily drawn liquidity here, but I close it previous days low right here. So this is my entry. You can't really see it because like our cursor. Alright. So it's around there, where it's around the top wick. And it's my close, right? Like a couple of ticks below that, actually, but yeah. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Yep.